Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, but I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're going to be speaking on the story of 561 Monsta, the 5'3" gangster Palm Beach rapper that apparently killed his own homie over a music video.
Just this tightness, this pain, like this, and this emptiness right here. He left my baby on the side of a road. Like he was an animal.
November 14, 2021. It was 6:16 in the evening when a white Mercedes pulled onto the entrance ramp of an inspection station on Interstate 75 in Hamilton County, Florida. The vehicle attempted to make a U-turn before being stopped by the law enforcement sergeant on duty, who redirected the vehicle to continue in the direction it was initially driving. Making contact with the driver, identified as Javante Wilkins, the sergeant asked if everything was okay. Javante appeared confused and agitated as to where he was. When asked to step out of the vehicle, he refused, and the sergeant could observe what appeared to be blood splattered on his pants and inside of the vehicle. Now demanding he step out, Javante reluctantly complied, making his way to the back of the vehicle when he stated he had two weapons inside. He told the sergeant one was located under the driver's seat before saying it was self-defense, as he attempted to give the location of a dead body. The sergeant ran Javante's name through the radio, confirming he was a convicted felon, and at that time, Javante was placed under arrest for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. It was 8:48 p.m. when neighboring Columbia County sheriffs were contacted in reference to a possible homicide. The victim, described as a Hispanic male, was said to have been dumped on the side of the road. A dead man matching the description was found on a dark one-way road with no lighting, his body laying in the grass stained by blood. He was identified as 30-year-old Christian Lujan. A Columbia County detective and Florida Department of Law Enforcement special agent met with Javante at the sheriff's office to conduct an interview. Noticing the blood on Javante's clothing, they listened as he stated him and Christian, who he knew as Trapman Chink or Mex, which was short for Mexico, had traveled to Charlotte, North Carolina from their hometown of Tampa, Florida. The two were expecting to meet a man to make a music video, but Javante was uneasy about the meeting location changing, so they left without making the video and were heading home. Javante stated both he and Mex were carrying guns, Javante's being a Glock 19 and Mex's a Smith & Wesson SD9. Javante asked Mex to take his gun from in between the seat and the center console and put it on the floorboard. Shortly after, Mex picked up his gun and put it back between the seat. Javante described seeing him constantly looking in the rearview mirror as if he was looking for someone, causing Javante's suspicions to grow. Javante described the intense feeling that it was all a setup and Mex was going to try and kill him. As he told detectives, people wanted him dead due to his fame. He was the 5'3" Palm Beach rapper known as 561 Monsta. Monsta told detectives he became angry that Mex put the gun back in between the seat, so before Mex could react, Monsta drew his own gun, firing 3 to 4 9mm bullets into Mex's body. He told detectives he didn't want to give Mex a chance to reach for his own gun, and he felt Mex was gonna shoot him, stating he'd rather Mex be dead than him. As Mex slumped over in the vehicle, dying as he bled out, Monsta drove on for another 30 minutes before stopping. From the driver's seat, Monsta kicked Mex's limp body, trying to force him out of the car. Monsta then climbed over the body, opening the passenger door from the inside, and dragged Mex from the seat onto the road and into the grass. Due to Monsta telling detectives he drugged the body, he was charged with tampering with evidence, but that was all he was initially charged with, and the very next day, he was released on a $10,000 bond. 15 days later, the state filed charges of tampering with evidence, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and manslaughter while armed. A warrant went out for Monsta's arrest and he was placed back in custody within the Columbia County Jail, this time without bond. January 19th, 2022, a warrant went out for Monsta's arrest, accusing him of an entirely different violent crime. October 14th, 2021, exactly 1 month before Mex was killed, it was 2:07 in the morning in Sefner, Florida. A man and his girlfriend sat in the driveway of their home they just pulled into. Suddenly, a silver Mazda drove by, stopped, and two men got out of the passenger side opening fire on their vehicle. The man was shot in the forehead and left hand, the girlfriend wasn't hit, and the shooters were already driving off. Sheriffs along with EMS arrived at the scene of the shooting, transporting the victim to the hospital, whose injuries were determined to be non-life threatening. A total of 23 9mm shell casings had been left at the scene, and a neighboring home camera had captured the entire shooting on video. One of the shooters appeared to be a tall white male wearing a white shirt and dark shorts. The other shooter was also white, shorter, and wearing dark clothing. The victim stated they had drove home from a local Circle K gas station and believed they were being followed by the silver Mazda. Surveillance video from the Circle K would confirm that statement. A white male wearing a white t-shirt could be seen exiting the silver Mazda on surveillance video before making a cash purchase. Through investigation, detectives were able to identify shooter number 1 as 38-year-old John White. Locating and arresting John, he confirmed it was him seen on surveillance video at the Circle K. A search of John's 2 cell phones would reveal a number listed as Monsta bruh, and that name would later be brought up through a jail call. While John spoke with family over a recorded video visitation, he discussed this case saying Monsta was the driver during the shooting, and Monsta had later committed a murder in North Florida before turning himself in. Law enforcement were quickly able to identify Monsta as Javante Wilkins, who is currently inside of the Columbia County Jail. Searching through Monsta's Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube videos, detectives found multiple pictures of the silver Mazda used in the shooting. Obtaining a warrant for Monsta's phone, they'd also find Google searches for shootings in Cessna, 2 shot in Cessna, shooting in Hillsborough County, just days after the shooting occurred. One of the shell casings from the shooting was also determined to have been fired from the Glock 19 Monsta used to kill Max, meaning the weapon had been involved in 2 separate shootings. Coded text between Monsta and someone named Hen would speak on the shooting, and recorded jail calls from John speaking to someone he referred to as bruh would reveal the second shooter, John's little brother Henry Wilson, who is shorter than John as seen during the shooting video. Because of the overwhelming amount of evidence, 561 Monsta was transferred from the Columbia County Jail to Hillsborough County, where he's been charged with 2 counts of attempted murder, one of which with great bodily harm, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, discharging a firearm in public, shooting into an occupied vehicle, aggravated battery with great bodily harm, and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Facing forever in the Florida Department of Corrections with an immense amount of evidence against him, including his own confessions, the 5'3" rapper better know how to use a knife, as prison is looking like all his future holds. From admitting to killing Max, admitting the gun was his, and then the same gun having been used in a separate shooting, to his co-defendant saying he was the driver on a recorded jail call, and cell phone evidence from messages, locations, and search history all showing signs of his involvement, the height deficient rapper has pretty much ended his career before it even started, as his biggest song only has 105,000 views on YouTube. Now you want to talk about a lot of fucking evidence. I don't know how he was able to skate off with a manslaughter charge instead of a murder charge. At one point in the court system it said he was hit with murder, but then it was reduced back down to the manslaughter because I guess they're believing what he was saying. And I don't know if Max was truly his homie. It sounded like they definitely knew each other. Maybe Max was setting him up with somebody in North Carolina to do the video. He had money, had to pay for it, they were gonna rob him. Whatever the situation was, he killed him and admitted to doing it. But then not only that, come to find out the gun he did it with was used in a shooting exactly 1 month before he killed Max. So I mean, this case is fucked. 5'3", Florida Department of Corrections. Your chances aren't that good, bro. That's like down here on me. You know what I mean? I don't even know how he's gonna fight his way through prison. Even if he's stabbing, he's only gonna be stabbing people in the fucking legs because he can't reach nothing else. And you know, I understand it. I started listening to his music while researching this video. His music is actually good, and it makes sense that he was so aggressive with the guns, being that he was so fucking short. You know what I mean? He had that little Napoleon complex, But now he's landed himself in jail on a shitload of charges with a shitload of evidence. But hey, let me know y'all thoughts and comments in the comment section. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with Charlie. Y'all rocking with me. Until next time.